Hello everyone. Imagine the top of the world, a place where the sky feels closer, where every step comes at the cost of pain, determination, and fear. Imagine a woman who was not a mountaineer. She had no experience and no support, but she had a dream. A dream that would one day bring her to the foot of Everest. You are on the channel One Survivor. Let's begin.
Some stories begin with a dream. Others end with it. This is the story of a woman named Shriya Shah-Klorfine and a mountain that changed her life. A girl born in the shadows of Everest. A woman who built a life oceans away. And one day, decided to return to the mountain that once touched her soul. This is not a story of success, nor is it one of failure. It is a story of desire, sacrifice, and the fatal pull of one of Earth's deadliest frontiers, Mount Everest. It began with a flight. Shriya was just 9 years old when her father, a respected diplomat in Nepal, took the family on a helicopter tour of the Himalayas. The chopper circled the jagged white peaks, and for a brief moment, the highest point on Earth, Everest, filled the window beside her. In that instant, something settled in her chest. A vision, a promise. One day, she thought, I'll be there. One day, I'll stand on top of the world. But childhood dreams often collide with the reality of life. When Shriya was 10, her father passed away. The family moved to Mumbai. Years later, her brother died in a car crash. Then her mother, suddenly, was gone too. Loss after loss. And still, the mountain waited. As a young woman, Shriya left India. She found work as an accountant aboard a cruise ship. There, sailing the oceans, she met Bruce Klorfine, a pianist from Ontario, Canada. Their love was unexpected, a clash of backgrounds, beliefs, and cultures. Her mother, before passing, had chosen a husband for her, a doctor in Mumbai. But Shriya followed her heart. She broke with tradition, married Bruce in 2002, and moved to Toronto. Her sister never forgave her, never spoke to her again. But in Canada, Shriya thrived. She launched a business selling high-end clothing. She opened boutiques. In 2011, she even ran for office in Canada's Parliament. A woman of ambition, fire, and intensity. And then, she remembered the mountain. It came suddenly. Shriya told Bruce, "I'm going to climb Everest." She had no mountaineering experience. She wasn't an athlete. But something inside her had begun to burn. A childhood memory. A promise to herself. Friends say she had once considered joining the Canadian Army. Others remember her obsession with goals. Big, sometimes reckless goals. Everest became the next mountain in her life, both literal and symbolic. She hired a budget expedition company called Utmost Adventure. Their service cost around $40,000, modest by Everest standards. But with flights, gear, and logistics, the total climbed to nearly $100,000. She couldn't raise the funds. So she mortgaged her home. Her marriage began to falter. Bruce, ever supportive, drove her to the airport. Friends gifted her a red fleece with a Canadian maple leaf. She was 33, determined, hopeful, unprepared. Shriya landed in Nepal in April 2012. Utmost Adventure promised training, promised support, promised that she'd be taught how to use crampons, ladders, ropes. But the reality? Everest is not a classroom. At base camp, she joined dozens of other climbers waiting for a window of good weather. Every day, they stared at the icefall. Every night, they listened to the mountain groan. Shriya trained lightly, practiced some climbing techniques, called Bruce daily on a satellite phone. She was excited, happy. "I can see myself on the summit," she told a friend. She didn't know that hundreds of others, like her, were also waiting, hoping, timing their ascent. May 18, 2012, the weather cleared. Over 500 climbers began their push for the top. Shriya was among the last to leave Camp 4, the final camp before the summit. It took her 18 hours to ascend just 1 vertical kilometer. She was now in the death zone, above 8,000 meters. Air thin, oxygen low, every breath a battle. Some Sherpas urged her to turn back. She refused. At 2:30 p.m. on May 19th, she reached the summit, the dream fulfilled, photos taken. A fleeting moment of joy. Then, the descent. On the way down, Shriya began to falter, her speech slurred, her steps weakened. High-altitude cerebral edema, swelling of the brain, had likely set in. Sherpas tried to help her descend, carried her, dragged her. But she collapsed again and again. She had used 9 oxygen canisters. Her body was shutting down. By nightfall, she could no longer move. She died there, on the icy slope, just 300 meters below Camp 4. 8 other climbers died that same weekend, in one of the deadliest Everest seasons in recent memory. Most died not while climbing up, but while coming down. Shriya's red fleece made her body easy to spot. Sherpas later wrapped her in a Canadian flag. It cost over $50,000 to retrieve her body and return it to Mumbai. Shriya's story isn't just about a woman and a mountain. It's about modern mountaineering, about commercial expeditions, about people, often underprepared, risking everything for a photo at the top of the world. Everest has changed. It is no longer just the realm of elite climbers. It's an industry, a dream sold. The mountain doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're a dreamer, a tourist, or a world-class athlete, but it will always test you, and sometimes take everything.
Shriya Shah-Klorfine chased a dream, and like so many before her, she found its cost too great. This is One Survivor. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments.